Bud Hebler, who studies the economy and advises retirees on his website, AnalyzeNow.com, offers some practical tips on how to get along with less, growing your own vegetables included.
There are a lot of people that have started to garden again. We're getting back to that kind of a point where people are doing a lot of gardening, and that's going to increase a lot. You know, our folks during the Depression, we raised our food pretty much, and we did a lot of canning. My family always got together at the time of the apple harvest, you know, and made apple butter. It was a big family deal to put together a year's worth of apple butter. But we're going to go back to that kind of a situation, I believe, because you've got to save some money in almost every area.
Ways to spend less include growing our own fruits and vegetables, recycling household goods, even building materials, and clipping coupons. Vashon Island, a ferry boat ride from downtown Seattle, Washington, is a place where gardening is a way of life. Alan Watts, 85, a dentist who retired in 1989, grows just about everything he eats.
8 months of the year, we eat off that garden, the things we raise. And many, many, many times, everything that's at a meal comes from our gardens. I make wine from our surplus grapes and berries, mostly from berries these days. We store some things like kiwis we keep up till June. We eat a lot of kiwis. We have loads of apples that we store.
Watt's neighbor, Bob Norton, 83, got a doctorate at Michigan State in plant physiology and horticulture and taught at various universities. Norton also helped develop the fruit and nut industries in California.
I did research on every kinds of fruits and vegetables you can imagine, so I got the idea of introducing new varieties of fruit into Western Washington.
When he moved to Vashon Island, he started a fruit club.
Our 170 members, they all wanted to learn how to grow fruit on Vashon. I have probably at least 20 different kinds of fruit, and I have
not too bad.
Also many varieties of vegetables, so we can supply fresh, nutritious food for our house and for anyone else around.
And we get our lemons. We harvest those in the fall. We get several hundred lemons off of one tree. We squeeze every single one off, squeeze them out by hand, and my wife freezes the juice.
A gardener never runs out of things to do. Gardening uses a lot of calories, and so it's a great exercise and great way to keep in shape.
Gardening's not just for country folk anymore. For years, community gardens have been springing up in cities, transforming littered vacant lots. Will Allen, 60, a former professional basketball player, started one of the most successful urban gardening programs in the country. Growing Power is headquartered in the city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
He's a city goat. You guys are city goats, aren't you?
Allen didn't grow up as a city kid. He was raised on a farm.
Even though we were very poor, we didn't have a car. Most of the time when I grew up, we didn't have a television until I was about 13 or 14. But the one thing we always had was lots of food, because we grew our own food, and it always seemed like people would show up at our house.
But Allen, an all-American basketball player, couldn't wait to get off the farm.
And I had about 100 scholarship offers that go to different colleges, and went to University of Miami. When I left the farm at 18, I said, never again will I do this hard work. You know, I think most farm kids who go away to college say, you know, there's got to be something easier to do.
Allen played basketball well in college and in Europe. He thought he'd never hoe through a row of weeds again. But after a few years, he moved back to the States and found himself growing food in Wisconsin. He worked with neighborhood kids and started selling his produce.
And then in 1999, it really kind of exploded. We went from a budget of about $70,000 a year to about $200,000 a year in '99.
It was only a matter of time until somebody else noticed what an amazing job Will Allen was doing in Milwaukee.
I got a call early in the morning, and I was out getting ready to cut some lettuce, and this person calls me and says, what are you doing? So I'm thinking it's a prank call. And I said, I'm getting ready to cut some lettuce. And he said, well, you better put down your knife and sit down, because I got some good news. So I'm thinking, who is this? You know, this is some kind of prank call. And he said, well, you won the MacArthur Genius Grant. You're going to get $500,000. You can do whatever you want with it. There's no strings attached, you know. And I said, okay, that's cool. Because I was kind of shocked. I didn't know really what to say at that point. Today we have 35 employees, and we operate 6 farms and about 6 regional training centers around the U.S.
And Growing Power just keeps growing, thriving in the most unlikely places.
You can put 2 feet of compost on asphalt and grow almost anything.
While many gardeners, urban and rural alike, are busy calculating just how much money they're saving at the grocery store, there's a whole other group for whom the magic price is free. Michelle Piastro of Eugene, Oregon, tries to live on practically nothing.
Collecting your own food is so much more fun than going to the supermarket and paying for it. Not only do you get the thrill of the hunt, it's like an Easter egg hunt. I went truffling on the weekend and collected some wonderful Oregon white truffles and smashed them up with some butter and cream cheese. They're so good. You put them on toast or on bread or crackers, and you can collect them this time of year. A lot of people make nettle tea. I collect nettles and make a pot salad. I cook them like spinach. They're very good. They come up in the spring, and one of the first fresh greens of spring, besides the wild onions. And they really have, they're delicious. They make a good tea, too. They sting, so you always want to collect them with gloves. But once you cook them, that's all gone away. I have so much fun, and I know it's fresh, and I know I had something to do with the getting of it rather than just paying somebody else to raise it.
When she's not foraging in the countryside or trawling back alleys for treasures, Michelle Piastro works at a recycling center in Eugene.
Oh, look at this window. Wow. Oh, isn't this beautiful? $10. Look at this. Now tell me that's not a beautiful window.
It's no surprise that Michelle Piastro is building her new house with Bring's recycled old building materials. She's almost ready to get started.
Come on into my new house. This is my new house. So come on in. This is the front door right here, over here. Okay, there you are. So you come in and there's this entryway, and then you look here, the kitchen, you gotta come around. The kitchen and dining area is over here with a wood stove right next to the kitchen table. And over here is the living room with my piano and my fireplace and great big old French doors that go off, looking out at that beautiful view. That's my house.
Another way to save money is to search for sales at the grocery store. Bud Hebler would be proud of Terry Galt. She turned her ability to save money on food into an internet business called The Grocery Game.
Coupons are like free money. If you know how to use a pair of scissors, you are going to save maybe $100 a week on your family's grocery shopping by using coupons. My original total regular price for this cartload of groceries would have been $132. Already, it's $67. That's just with buying on sale. It's like cutting it in half. No coupons yet, but I have coupons to make it even better. And you only paid $43.17? I love that. It's great. If you practice shopping sales and you also stockpile, which is to buy things that you use before you need them when they're on sale, you should be able to cut your grocery bill in half. That's without cutting coupons. If you want to save about 67% on the average, add coupons to the mix. Good economy or bad, we all have to eat. And why should we pay full price for groceries when we don't have to? And get the things that we love to eat. Still yet, why do we have to pay full price for it? We don't.